Hello, everybody. Andy here. Welcome to the Andy Show. Uh, just have a quite a bit. I'm going to do this as a weekend review kind of a show today, and just want to say Happy Valentine's Day. And I am sitting here looking at my window at all white. It's been snowing for a few hours now. It's supposed to continue through the day, and it's around 10 degrees, I guess, out there. So uh, can't really do much outside, so we're going to do a weekend review video. And again, happy Valentine's Day. I find it sad, especially on this day when you reflect on love and how there are so many people that have never experienced the greatest love of all, and that's the love of Jesus Christ. So if you haven't experienced that, maybe you should consider it. This show today, I am going to show you earlier this week Iraqi beverage, Baghdad soft drink. They they go by so many different names, but it's IBSD, and we have just under 50 million shares. I have a current buy order that I put in February. That will be, depending on how much we have going into it, should be 100 million shares when we're done if we have time. It's going to take a while to build up to that, but it all depends on the money that we received that I could send over to Iraq. But we currently have somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 million, and that's growing, going to continue to grow as long as the funds keep coming in. IBSD put out a really good report here. Okay, they put this report out on February the 8th, the annual financial report of Baghdad Soft Drinks Company, IBSD, for 2020. This report outlines the fundamental and market analysis for the PIPSI Cola Iraq Brand Financial Report, IBSD, where this report will target the positive data and growth in company's account compared to the end of 2019 and growth during 2020. The company continues showing positive growth in cash liquidity after a big jump in cash liquidity in the first quarter 2020 compared to the last quarter 2019 by 330%. In the second quarter 2020, the total cash reached 124 billion Iraqi dinar, and the cash continued to grow and increase, reaching 130 billion Iraqi dinar in the third quarter and 178 billion Iraqi dinar at the end of 2020, with a 68% increase over what it was at the end of 2019. So again, they go from 121 billion in the first quarter to 178 billion in the fourth quarter. So 57 billion in Iraqi dinar. What an increase. What a good year it was. As you can see, they just continue growth. The final financial statements showed a total current asset of 241 billion Iraqi dinar, representing about 50% of total assets and equivalent to 136% of the capital. In addition, the balance sheet showed a growth in total assets by 19% in quarter 4 2020 compared to December 31st of 2019, reaching to 479 billion dinar from 403 billion at the end of 2019. The book value of the share at the end of the fourth quarter 2020 was 2400 IQD compared to 2.06 IQD at the end of 2019, with increasing by 16.5%. Reserves increase during 2020 by 25% from 199 billion to 249 billion Iraqi dinar. The company made total revenues and sales in this year 414 billion Iraqi dinar, over 12.8% compared to 2019. Historically, known that the company made 19.5% net profit for the year ended December 2019, and it was decided to distribute dividends for the shareholders in the last General Assembly meeting by 15% of the capital. The income statement shows a net profit before tax by 68.9 billion Iraqi dinar, with a growth over 20% compared to 2019. This was divided in quarters at 2020 as in the following percentages: net profit margin ratio 16.6%, gross profit margin ratio 26.5%, book value 2400 IQD. I think it's supposed to be 2.4. Market price to profit 9 times. Net profit percentage 38.85%. Return on assets 14.4%. Now, this is just a year-end report. It does not signify what they're going to pay out in dividends. For a few years now, they have paid out 15%, and it looks like this year they could pay out at least that much, if not more. So this is a great report. Their General Assembly has traditionally been held in April, and they pay out their dividends usually around the first week of June. So we should know more of what they're going to pay out here within the next month and a half, 2 months. But yeah, so we should have the final payment amount sometime in June. If we have already revalued by then, if we're already drawing dividends to pay out, there's been a change in the price of the Iraqi dinar, we would withdraw those funds and, of course, distribute. If we don't, for some reason, if Iraqi dinar has not revalued by then what we would do is turn around and use those funds to reinvest, buy even more shares. So one way or the other, it's a benefit for us. It increases our holdings or it increases our pocket. I don't know which yet. This week has been filled with anticipation that they were going to pass the budget, that something was going to happen yesterday or today. Don't let this setback frustrate you. Erbil and Baghdad have still not completely reached an agreement. There are hopes that they will get that completed, and they are expecting to again pass the budget sometime, or it would be voted on in Parliament sometime this week. And every day is a new day, and every day is fraught with setbacks, it seems like, but they are progressing. With oil now over $62 a barrel, they are increasing the dollar exchange rate. They are, or not the rate, they are increasing their foreign reserves consistently with this. There was talk that the central bank has a new rate and is going to drop it when they drop the budget, when they finally pass it. I don't know if that's true or not. We can always hope, and that's kind of where we're sitting. Something could happen at any time. There's just no doubt about that. But if it doesn't, don't get discouraged. We're in a good place. We just have to be patient and ride this thing out. To me, it's never been a question of if, it's always been a question of when, and that still holds true today. But like I said, the oil is over, I think it's over $62 a barrel today, and their budget, I believe, counted on 40 to 45. So they're making a mint right now. I don't know how much they're actually getting out, but even a million barrels a day. Wow, what an incredible amount of money over what they planned in their budget. So this is all positive news. I have heard that they stopped the auctions on Monday. I haven't been able to confirm that this past Monday. So if that's the case, I know that, what is her name? the lady with the IMF. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at names, but she was in Erbil trying to talk to them and get things going. Why would it be necessary for the IMF to be over there trying to help strike a deal between Erbil and Baghdad if something wasn't afoot here, something positive? So you got people in the world markets that are trying to get this done. To me, that's a good sign. What it translates to, I have no idea, but they're up to something. And people have been saying, well, they've been saying it's going to revalue for years and years. I've been in this 20 years, and they make these claims. Well, they're all of the information that was coming out before was made up guru garbage. Some of those people are still around, and some people still listen to them. The people that called it just about every day and have called it every day for years and years and just making a buck off of it by keeping you tuned into them and giving you false hope. You can rely on them. You can listen to them all you want. It's not going to change anything. So I truly believe that something is up. Something is about to happen, but can I prove it? No way. There's no way for any of us to prove that something is about to happen. So take all that for what it's worth. It's more me rambling, but I just truly believe something is happening, and what that end result is for us, I'm hopeful. So we'll just leave it at that. We have 573 members now in Willard Enterprises, and about just under, I think it's under 8,700 shares or 8,700 blocks that have been distributed. So you can kind of help compare that a little bit with the value. There was an interesting reply. It might have been on one of the videos, and David posted about, and I was just amazed at how close he got to the actual dinar per block. I mean, he was right there on top of it, amazingly. But I mean, that's going to continue to change. It's going to continue to evolve. We're going to continue to sell blocks. We're going to continue to add new members. While they're not coming on very fast, we are still getting some new members. And I would suggest, the more people that you inform about this, and the more you get involved, the less you have to help. When this does happen, everybody's going to be having their hand out. And I'm going to give you, on the next video, I'm going to give you a little clue about that. But just know that the more people that are members of this group, the less you have to share with. So try to get people involved. I just want as many people blessed by this as possible. There's just no question in my mind that we're going to see something from this in the near future. I don't know what date. I'm not setting a date, a rate, or anything else, but I just feel like something is going to be happening in the not too distant future. It could be days, it could be weeks, it could still be months away, but we're in a positive place. Iraq is doing too much not to be headed somewhere positive with all this. So I guess that's trying to think if I had anything else. The A7 FL. I think there's 4 days left to invest in that if you want to. And I'm not suggesting that you do. I'm just putting it out there as an alternative investment. Well, of course, I want everybody to invest in Willard Enterprises. I'm not arrogant enough to think that I'm the best investment or the only investment around. And I think we should be able to diverse our funds. And when something pays off, we want a little here, a little here, a little there, and just grow our wealth smartly. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. We've got some members that have bought a ton of blocks in this, and kudos to them. But invest in other things as well. The gold and silver is one option. I don't recommend gold right now at all. Yeah, when you've got silver, when gold is 67 times, 68 times silver, uh, when silver is 15 to 18, 20 times, then that's when you want to switch it over to your gold. Don't don't buy gold right now. Buy silver. I mean, that's just things that I've heard. The ratio between gold and silver is way too high, and they tend to get much closer. And when they get much closer, that's when you switch over to the other. And then when that huge gap in the ratio, then you switch back, and you keep increasing your portfolio that way. But yeah, there's an expense to it. But when you're talking 68 times for gold over silver, when typically it's 15 to say 20 times, then yeah, gold right now to me is not the asset to buy. But I'm not that great at it. If I was, I'd be living a whole different lifestyle. So, but anyway, take that for what it's worth. Do some research on it and make your own decisions. But yeah, the A7FL is just a new football league that's been out there for a few years. They're expanding and growing, and it's cheap to get into. I think you can buy as little as 125 shares, so $375, 150. I don't know, but it's $375 minimum buy-in, and you get so many shares for $1.25. But they're going to end all this soon, and they are starting their season in April, and they've added Florida to their roster, and they're going to add several areas next year, including Dallas. So it's a growing franchise, and it's just I love football, and this is a way to be a part of a sport that I love. So anyway, I think that's just about got everything done this week, and I hope y'all have a happy Valentine's Day, and I will talk to you again later today. I'm going to do a second video, so we'll talk at you soon. God bless everybody, and stay safe out there.